In the vast and tragic universe of Naruto, few characters are as misunderstood, as revered, and as layered as Itachi Uchiha. A prodigy, a criminal, a savior, a murderer, a peacemaker. And yet, despite his unmatched genius and overwhelming power, Itachi allowed one of the most dangerous men in the ninja world, Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, to live. Why? Was it a matter of strategy, of philosophy, or something even deeper and darker? Today, we dive deep into history, psychology, philosophy, and raw shinobi politics to answer one of the most haunting questions in the Naruto universe. Why didn't Itachi kill Pain? Let's start with the basics. Could Itachi Uchiha have killed Pain? It's tempting to jump to no. Pain had the Rinnegan, the most legendary dojutsu in shinobi history. 6 bodies, shared vision, a literal god complex. But slow down. Let's take a closer look at both of these warriors. Itachi wielded the Mangekyo Sharingan with mastery. Not only did he possess the Tsukuyomi, one of the most terrifying genjutsu in history, he also had the Totsuka blade and the Yata mirror, artifacts that bordered on myth. One seals anything it pierces, the other deflects all attacks. He took down Orochimaru in seconds, outsmarted Kakashi with a single glance, played 4D chess with Sasuke, all while terminally ill. On paper, Pain is stronger. But here's the kicker. Itachi's genius wasn't in raw power. It was in timing, precision, and intent. He never fought a battle he didn't already know the outcome to. And we see this clearly when they finally face off later during the 4th Great Ninja War, albeit through Edo Tensei. Itachi systematically disables Nagato, identifies his weakness, and seals him without ever being caught in a full power attack. So yes, Itachi could have killed Pain. The real question is why he chose not to. To understand this, we need to look inside Akatsuki. On the surface, the Akatsuki was a mercenary group composed of S-rank rogue shinobi, but under the hood, it was a ticking time bomb, a weaponized ideology wrapped in trauma, loss, and ambition. Itachi wasn't truly one of them. After the Uchiha massacre, he joined the organization, not to further its goals, but to watch it from within. A double agent, a ghost working for the Leaf from the shadows. He partnered with Kisame, another shinobi with blood on his hands and a quiet understanding of pain. Together, they blended in, but Itachi never bought into the cause. The moment he laid eyes on the inner workings of Akatsuki, he must have seen the truth. Pain wasn't just a powerful shinobi. He was the figurehead of the ideology that threatened to reshape the world. And still, he didn't act. Why? Because Itachi understood the value of balance. Taking out Pain would not just remove a leader, it would trigger a complete implosion of Akatsuki. The members would scatter. Madara, or rather Tobi, would be forced to move early. The power vacuum would create instability on a scale the 5 nations couldn't contain. In short, Itachi didn't kill Pain because it wasn't the right time. But beyond strategy, there's something even more human and more heartbreaking. Itachi and Nagato were not so different. Both were child soldiers. Both witnessed war tear their families apart. Both lost everything. And both came to the same conclusion. The cycle of hatred must end. Where Itachi chose self-sacrifice, taking on the sins of a village that hated him, Nagato chose godhood. He believed peace could be achieved through overwhelming pain. Those who do not understand true pain can never understand true peace, he said. This wasn't madness, this was desperation. And Itachi? He recognized it. Maybe, just maybe, killing Nagato would have been like killing a version of himself, a reflection he wished he could have saved. There's a tragic poetry in this unspoken bond. 2 men walking different paths to the same dream, unable to stop each other and unwilling to try. But even all that isn't the full story. The real reason Itachi never killed Pain? Because Pain wasn't the real enemy. The true threat to the world was Obito Uchiha, masquerading as Madara. Itachi knew this. He suspected Tobi's identity. He may not have known the full story, but he knew that the masked man was manipulating things behind the scenes, shaping Akatsuki's goals, pushing Pain toward war, manipulating even Nagato's ideals. Killing Pain would have cut the head off the beast, sure, but the serpent would have grown a new one, faster, more violent, and possibly more effective. By leaving Pain alive, Itachi bought time. He turned Akatsuki into a controlled burn, delaying the full outbreak of chaos long enough for Konoha, and eventually Naruto, to be ready. Let's dive into the alternate history. What if Itachi had killed Pain? Picture it. In a surprise move, he uses Tsukuyomi to paralyze one of the 6 paths, isolates the Naraka path to prevent revival, and ends it with the Totsuka blade. Nagato dies, the Rinnegan is lost. On the surface, victory. But then what? Tobi steps out of the shadows, furious, unpredictable. Kisame either dies alongside Itachi or turns on him. The Akatsuki crumbles, but Tobi no longer needs subtlety. He launches the infinite Tsukuyomi plan early, without needing to gather all the tailed beasts. Naruto? Still naive. Sasuke? Still filled with rage. The allied shinobi forces? Non-existent. In this world, Madara wins. Ironically, Itachi not killing Pain may have been the very thing that allowed the world to survive long enough to stand a chance. In the end, Itachi's greatest power was not his dojutsu or his genjutsu or even his intellect. It was his restraint, his ability to endure hatred, to suffer in silence, to let the world see him as a villain, while quietly protecting it from the inside. He understood something very few shinobi ever did. Sometimes, doing nothing is the hardest mission of all. He let Pain live, not because he couldn't stop him, but because the world wasn't ready for what came next. And maybe, just maybe, he believed someone else would finish the job, someone who could truly break the cycle of hatred. Naruto Uzumaki, Itachi died with countless secrets buried in his heart, but his silence wasn't cowardice. It was trust. Trust in a future he would never see. Trust in a peace he would never live to enjoy. And trust that someone else would have the strength to kill the dream that had once broken them both. That is why Itachi never killed Pain. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're clearly just as obsessed with Naruto lore as we are. So if you want more deep dives, alternate timelines, and untold character analyses, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. If Itachi had fought Pain, who do you think would have won?